Okay, now don't let me get too verbose on this one because this one's really close to my heart, and that's with how to get rid of high blood pressure. Because what is high blood pressure? All right, that's just the second step toward a heart attack. And having had a couple of those, and when I checked myself out of the hospital, went running, I found out, they told me then that I had 80% occlusion, that I'd have another heart attack within 60 days. All right, that's been a lot of years ago, okay? And having had another, they call it a calcium scan now, a new thing that they're working with, and I have 0% occlusion. And I credit it to the essential life enzymes. Now that is serrapeptase, bromelain, and papain. We found out about it in our studies with Dr. Hans Nieper, and if you heard me talk very often, you know that I've always said that there are 3 people that have not received Nobel Prizes for either medicine or physiology, and one of them is Joanna Budwig. All right, she's been nominated 7 times, and she's supposed to have hit about, oh gosh, at last count, there was about 60,000 ladies that had had breast cancer that she had, quote, cured. They didn't have any more breast cancer. Second is, the third, all right, is Dr. Klenner from Reidsville, North Carolina. He was the guy that started the IVs, all right, with the ascorbate. And at that time, they'd have people that would come in there and on gurneys, all right, with polio. And in 3 weeks, he'd send them home. They'd push their own gurney. He thought he was going to get a Nobel Prize. All he got was arrested. Okay, now what started this whole thing was there was so much, last week there was so much to do about, the doctors had found that a way to make stem cells, right, reverse the scarring in the heart of heart attack victims, right? And what they did, instead of trying to take the stem cells from the marrow of the bone, which had proved an absolute failure, right, they'd take them from the area of the heart, right, where the scarring was, and then they'd put them in their little lab things, whatever they did, and reintroduce them, right, and dissolve the scar tissue, which is what Hans Nieper and everybody's been using with these ELEs, which are serrapeptase, bromelain, and papain, for 40 years. He had, his big thing was he had a couple of 70-year-old Wallinda, you know, they were circus acrobats. They came into his clinic in wheelchairs, right, after treating with this, and he did it for about 18 months, and they walked out of their clinic only on their hands, you know, with their feet up in the air, okay? Big deal. All right, now, that's high blood pressure. Now, the next thing that these ELEs do is they clean up the warrior cells. You know, you've heard me talk about how the macrophages, all of these things, they engulf the germs that invade the body, and they rip them to pieces, and then they change into a garbage man. They go back to the liver, and the liver cleans them up. What the liver uses, one of the things they use to clean them up, okay, are these proteolytic enzymes, right? Thick blood, right? I've had so many people talk to me lately about how the doctor said their blood was thick, all right? Well, what that means is little platelets are sticking together, and that's, you know, that's a sure course for bad things, right? And these ELEs help to eliminate that clumping. That, along with the correct essential oils, right? The ascorbate, and then of course making sure you get sugar out of the bloodstream, all right? That excess sugar, and that the easiest way to do that is with the Raynow. Okay, now I think I did pretty well not talking too much. Let's cut her off right now before I get started some more.